Welcome. We will talk about the GreenTwins project with Henna and Fabian, who will introduce themselves shortly. I am Casper van Volpen from Future Insight. It's my colleague Joska Geerts. And we've been working on an interesting project together with Henna and Fabian.
Hello, my name is Henna Fabritius. I'm an ecological modeler. So in the past, I have worked with research on modeling ecological change. And in this GreenTwins project, my responsibility area has been to build algorithmic vegetation.
I'm Fabian Dembski. I'm originally, my background is in architecture, and I also hold a PhD in urban community and regional planning from TU Wien. I'm working at Taltech as a research professor, and I'm part of the leading team in the GreenTwins project. In this case, I think collaboration is worth the name, so we are working quite strongly together. But also the collaboration with the cities is very inspiring and very important for us. So we have a very good relation to the city of Tallinn. They are involving a lot, but also Helsinki with Forum Virum. And we do this in the framework of the Finnish Center for Smart Cities. So we are a pilot project in this framework. And yeah, I think collaboration is working very fine, although it's mostly virtual due to the pandemic.
Yeah, sadly, we haven't met each other once. Everything has been virtual from our side as well.
We work together with Henna and Petri, her Finnish colleague. We advise them on their database and the connection between that database and for now 2 apps that will make use of the GreenTwins library, together with my colleague Ed.
Cool.
And yeah, that's very cool. We use our knowledge, but mainly we use the knowledge Henna and her colleagues already had for the information to know what the context of the project was, and used our knowledge and our partners to help them along.
Yeah, we are very happy to have Future Insight on board on this in this project, and yeah, we are quite happy because it's one of the most innovative companies in this field, and we are also striving to have kind of contact with practice. So we're trying not to do our research in a bubble, but also to try to find kind of applied fields for our tools developed. And I think, yeah, that's important to collaborate in this case with yeah, the best in this field. So we are very happy about that.
Thank you very much. And we were very happy that we are allowed to collaborate and put our energy and knowledge into this project as well. I'm just curious, and most people watching this probably as well, how did the project start, and what are the end results? What are you trying to build here?
The project and the collaboration with Future Insight kind of started from our need for developing algorithmic models for urban vegetation and green areas for the use of digital twins. This is kind of the overall goal of the plant library of the GreenTwins project. While we started working on this topic, it became quite evident that we cannot only focus on the developing algorithms and projections for vegetation and focus on this kind of research and ecology part. But it also turned out that this is a software issue, because the current city model databases and standards are not kind of maybe up to date for this sort of challenge. So we really needed to look for some expertise in this software part and building the databases and the client server systems, which could enable us to build this system.
What are you trying to reach here? What are you trying to achieve?
Actually, we are trying to develop new tools and methods for digital twins to kind of sketch the big picture, as well as a new level for or new layer for urban greenery or for plants in general. This aims to create a so-called living layer. So we have a lot of features in digital twins already, like the built environment, building information modeling, traffic, and so on. But we are quite interested in this living layer and in this kind of also predicting how this is in relation to the built environment, for example, and how natural environment is developing over the time and over the seasons. What the influences of nature on the built environment are, and vice versa. Yeah. All these things are kind of the motivation and the goals we are working on. And actually, we are trying to also want to build on this in the medium and long term, and to develop new research topics and projects. So it's not just about kind of this very limited pilot project, which is limited in sense of time and also, of course, budget, like every project. But we want to use this as a basis for future research, for developing new research topics, such as climate, including microclimate, for example. Remote sensing could be a topic, sensor networks, biodiversity in general, maybe not only plants, but also fauna, urban strategies of the future, collaborative and participatory processes. That's also something we want to work on, and to have more democratic planning processes after all. So that's kind of the topics we are kind of developing, and also we are concentrating also on future research. So it's not just kind of the project period, but this forms the basis.
In this project, we are really just kind of laying the foundation of the infrastructure and the enablers for building this sort of algorithmic, temporarily changing elements to digital twins. And there are enormous amount of questions that we can address once we have done this. So we hope that this is just a starting point.
And based on that knowledge and the starting point where we are right now, what will the next step be? What can we expect to happen in the near future?
Henna, maybe you go for this question first.
Yeah, like of course now we are at the point that we have finished our consultancy project with Future Insights, so we have a better understanding on the technological choices we need to make, and what are the kind of good options. So the next steps for us, of course, here will be now really software and implementation focused, and building the capacity to do this development steps. And after that, we will then move hopefully more towards the research topics and the data collection on the data needs for building digital vegetation, and then meeting our end user needs by building more and more features.
We are also trying to find collaborations with other universities, research institutions, and other partners, also to find new ideas which can build upon this kind of basic layer and the ideas we have in our team. We have a big team. We have a very interdisciplinary team. We want to try to also collaborate with other and different fields, like more from computer science and other engineering fields. So maybe there is kind of also potential in these fields. Yeah.
What were the main things you came across? Or what is the biggest tip you can give, or biggest piece of knowledge you can share with other people?
Yeah, what I got from this project is that they're working very thoroughly on the basis of the green twin with the like Fabian said, with the interaction with time, with environment, with all different kinds of scenarios. So like Henna said, there's so many next questions to be answered, but they're really thoroughly thinking about the basis. So it was very nice to help them get that basis on a technical level, hopefully structured on a way that they can build it further, and it will be better, and it will be able to use it in the future as well. I admired how she tried to grasp the difficulty of the subject and the translation she had to make of her work, and then to the technology, and then to the results. It was very hard. So if you're stuck or maybe not stuck yet, but if you think this is not my expertise, I have to find help.
Yeah.
So, and ask someone who does know or has more experience. So I think that's a tip for a project like this.
And I'm always curious, a project like this, of course, there's some funding in place, and a lot of people are struggling to get a business case for their project, maybe other universities, some companies, some organizations. How did you manage that in the big lines?
Besides kind of a good idea, it needs always passion for what you're doing. So I think that's probably the basis for everything. Without this passion and also the teamwork, it is not possible. And I think it's very important to build interdisciplinary teams. For our research, it was quite important, and for the beginning, it was quite important that we have also this transdisciplinary aspects in our pilot project, which is mostly focused on applied research. So we are not only doing research for writing papers, but for finding solutions. And I think it's important to have this approach towards solutions for the real world. Yeah. And of course, there's this academic aspects which are important and necessary. But yeah, I think for our field, that's quite important.
I could add to that there's quite obvious need for building this sort of living vegetation to digital models, not only from the urban planning perspective, where the need is obvious, but as an ecologist, I also look at it as a kind of simulation environment, which is three-dimensional, because most of the work that we ecologists used to do is in 2 dimensions. And I'm sure there are plenty of research projects that would love to take their research into a three-dimensional space. It's much more human and human-friendly and easy to approach for ordinary citizens as well. And in that sense, I think building up this kind of a project, it kind of also requires some sort of a bold thinking, that you dare to bring together people from so many different fields, because you cannot do it without this transdisciplinary thinking.
We're definitely making a change here with everyone. Trying to make a change in the way we look at things, but also the way we work. And we are trying to keep the lights on. Wow.
We have to move more.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
I have one final question from my side. If funding was not an option and you had passion to spare, what would the project be you want to start on? What would your next main big project be?
Yeah, I'm really fascinated about this research on digital vegetation. And I've said a couple of times that it feels like being an ecologist like 100 years ago, when there were so many unstudied questions. And regarding the digital vegetation, we are now at the same point, that it's quite uncharted territory, and there's quite a lot to do. So I would definitely want to stay and focus and deepen this research. And after laying these foundations to get to the real kind of ecological and digital ecology questions.
I think it's something we all share here. From our point of view, we want to help organizations make information visible. We really believe in that what you can see is what you can understand. And that comes back in all sorts of projects. So if it's about trees evolving, changing, growing, and everything that has to do with that life cycle, or it's just digital twins that are evolving and becoming more detailed and supporting the way we live as citizens as well. That's where our passion is. So I think we found a really good connection on those fields. Yeah. And I just want to thank you for letting us participate in this project.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And I think we share the same goals, and maybe we can also benefit from each other in certain fields of research. So I think also this in our project, this participatory and collaborative aspects, as well as this user research during the project, which is kind of an iterative process, is quite interesting, and could also, maybe we can share some ideas later on and during the project, and also concerning this visualization topic in this city hub idea where we want to involve citizens and other stakeholders to understand kind of this complexity of these digital twins and simulation and all these topics which need to be visualized.
My point of view, I also want to thank you for the collaboration. It was wonderful to work with one of the best in the field. And I guess we also want to use this opportunity to thank our collaborators and our funders for giving us this opportunity to do this project, and the cities of Helsinki and Tallinn and Alto University, and especially the Tallinn University of Technology and the Smart City Center of Excellence for the possibility to build a pilot project around this.